48% of you said you don't need a smartphone. Are you a little dumbfounded by that?
No, I'm not.
Really?
But yeah, 48%.
Now, some of the stuff that people tweeted me and said that the iPhone was next, the 4G. Apple iPhone 4G iPhone's next on my list. Then I actually love this one, O Solus O. Is that how you say it? I would more likely stick with my HTC. My Hero has Google Android already.
I'm hearing some very, very good things about the HTC phones. I'm telling you.
HTC Faraday used to make the best, made my favorite phone of all times.
29% Android, 14% the new iPhone, 6% BlackBerry. I think most people that get a BlackBerry get it only because work tells them to, which brings us to our next one and the last one, which is work decides what phone I use, and almost always that's going to be a BlackBerry.
Aren't you surprised, and we have to move on, but aren't you surprised iPhone was only 15%?
I'm surprised that the Android not only beat the iPhone, but doubled up the iPhone.
Me too.
Noah Kravitz joins us right now, editor-in-chief of PhoneDog.com, as he usually does when we have a situation like this that needs to be cleared up.
There it is.
HTC is gaining some traction here, aren't they, Noah?
That's what I'm getting, Noah.
I'll tell you what, Tracy, you can't get this one in America yet, but I'll see if I can hook you up.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, you know, it's how are you guys doing today, first of all?
We're doing very well. Thanks again for joining us. We got a long list of stuff. It just seems like whenever we get it to a point where there's a lull in this whole cell phone battle, it just heats right back up again. This last week, you've got the Google Nexus One, Nextel, or Sprint Nextel says, nah, we're not going to carry it. Why is that? Because Verizon's done that already.
Yeah, they have. I think it's a combination of a couple things. One, Sprint has their new flagship phone, Android phone, coming out next month called the Evo 4G, also an HTC phone. And so I think they want to push that as hard as, I know they want to push that as hard as they can. Also, the Nexus One has had some issues. I was on your show a while ago and said, you know, it was what I thought the best phone on the market at the time. But not long after that, customer support complaints piled up. Google didn't really do a good job of providing customer support. Issues with, the phone losing data connectivity, that kind of stuff. So, I think Google kind of stuck their toe in the water with selling their own piece of hardware. And, who's to say what they really wanted to do with it, but ran into some issues. So, yeah, Verizon's got the Droid Incredible now, which is their new flagship Android phone. And like I said, Sprint's got the Evo coming out. So they are kind of like, we don't really need the Nexus One. And they also run on CDMA, not GSM. So you can get the Nexus One on GSM now, T-Mobile and AT&T. Could be that between, the three of them, Sprint, Verizon, and Google, they decided to scrap a CDMA version of the Nexus One for the U.S. Who really knows? But it's not going to happen. So.
Okay, Noah, so let's just say you're a little bit of a neophyte like myself. I'm in the process of changing over. Do I wait? What do I do? Where would you go right now if the world was your oyster?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is you can always wait, right? There's always going to be buyer's remorse in consumer tech and smartphones. Right now, though, I would give it, what is it? It's mid-May. I would give it a month and a half. Because in a month and a half, you're going to see, like I said, that Evo 4G, which is, I got a chance to check it out at the last round of trade shows. It may be it's a little large. It's a 4-inch screen, so it might be a little big for some people, but it's fast, it's smooth, it runs on Sprint's new WiMAX network. So that's coming out next month. You're going to see, obviously, the new iPhone. There have been some leaks. There was a new leak today. Somebody in Vietnam supposedly got a hold of a prototype. You're going to see that announced next month. Apple always does the new iPhone in June. So, I would at least give it a month or so to see what those two devices are like, and then I think you'll be able to make a call, unless you're holding out for the new Windows Mobile, which that'll be coming out. The first devices we should see more like September, but I think by the end of June you could make a decision.
Well, when does the HTC come to America then?
Well, that one I just had up. This one's called the Legend, and you'd mentioned the Hero. This is kind of the successor to the Hero, and most of the deal with this one is just it's got this really nice aluminum enclosure. It's a really nice object. And, in my job, I see so many of the phones that I'm not jaded, but you start to see the same features, the same software, and then things like the actual design kind of pop out at you. And so that's just, just the feel of the device. It's like driving, pick your favorite luxury sports car. You know, it's like that. So no plans for that to come to the U.S. now, but you know, perhaps in the fall. The Hero, you know, like I said, it's a successor to the Hero, and they usually refresh in the fall, so it could be back to school season.
Yeah, you know, the design and the cool factor is why once the iPhone does come to Verizon, it's going to kill the Incredible, it's going to kill the Motorola Droid phones. It's just going to do that. We're hearing it's not till 2012. Do you believe that? I've also heard it's June. I mean, June 2010 versus 2012. That's a big difference.
Yeah, I was running around this morning trying to get a block of Swiss cheese. So when you asked me that question, I could hold it up and talk about the holes in the story. So the best, unless something's changed in the last 15 minutes since I've been on deck here for your show. The story seems to be that in 2007, AT&T and Apple signed a 5-year exclusivity deal for the iPhone. Since then, they've certainly sat down at the negotiating table, you know, at least once to do the whole iPad deal. And so this report came out about the 2007 deal, and all of a sudden everybody started sourcing the report saying, confirmed, iPhone, Verizon 2012. Nobody's confirmed anything. AT&T, Apple have been silent on it. You know, like you said, there are reports about June. Just yesterday afternoon, 6 hours after, you know, this 2012 story broke, saw some reports that actually Verizon's ad agency is already working on a campaign for the Verizon iPhone in the fall. And then at the end of the day yesterday, Verizon and Google confirmed that they're working together on an iPad killer tablet to come out. They're going to announce details later this week. So, you know, certainly in this business, especially all things are possible, you could see, you know, 6 months ago, Verizon's running those, what is it? I can't, but Droid does ads, just slamming iPhone. And, you know, 6 months later, you could see iPhone on Verizon. Today, they could be cooking up an iPad killer, and 6 months from now, you could see iPad on Verizon. You know, anything can change. But I wouldn't, I'm not a betting man, but if I was an investor, I wouldn't base my investment decisions solely on these 2012 reports just yet.
Okay, so is the world moving into smartphones? I mean, why then do we have this Microsoft Kin 1 and Kin 2 thing coming out? I mean, it just seems to me that the whole world is going the smartphone way.
Yeah, you know, the Kin products are interesting. I have one of them right here. This is the Kin 1. And,
well, how cute
you know,
is that?
Right, this was codenamed Turtle. All of us geeky bloggers knew it as codenamed Turtle before it came out. And, you know, these phones are, it's interesting, they're really making a targeted effort at a particular, they're calling it generation upload. And they're targeting these consumers, the younger generation who, you know, Microsoft thinks like they don't talk on the phone.
Yeah.
They call it life casting. And so the phone is all about, you know, Facebook and Twitter and that kind of thing.
I know.
The problem, you know, the device is interesting.
You know what? That's my fault. I asked you a question. We gotta wrap. You are awesome.
No problem.
We're gonna have you back. We gotta talk about this. Noah Kravitz, editor-in-chief of PhoneDog.com. I'm still confused by the whole world, but Noah's here to help.
Thanks, Noah.
Thanks, Noah.